Hi, and welcome to Should I Watch It? 1992. Split Second. I'm 16. I'm not too sure about this one. This one's a bit of an odd one, actually. This was the film I really wanted to see. The poster was out in various rental shops. I had seen the trailer, but I never actually got to see this film during that peak 1992 rolling dice 3 0 hour chewing gum guy in the sixth form doing GCSEs and was really popular at school and everyone liked. Right, shut up. For those of you really is split second. It's 2008. Due to global warming, London is flooded and covered in shit. So basically, when I say covered in shit, it really is overly expensive, really bad posters, and you're just damp constantly. So it's actually a very good impersonation of 2025. There's just less face masks. Um, and within this, Charlie Bond is banned from the comments. Within this, you have Harley Stone, a rugged cop who's rugged because he's a cop and has all the guns because he's a gun cop. Because in 2008, London cops have guns. Uh, who has lost his partner in an earlier altercation with some sort of criminal. Um, he's running around town, realizing that there is a serial killer on the loose. He is, as Professor Harley Stone, the macho band of Tango or the Cash, I don't know which one's which, to Dick Durkin, formerly from Taggart, but of course now it's 2008. He's completely different from being like the secondary character to a gruff, emotionally stunted, overly macho cop in 1990s and 1987. Taggart, who's just based in Scotland, to being the second fiddle to an emotionally stunted gunning cop in 2008 London. Together, they try and track down the clues. There aren't any clues. Basically, people have their body parts sent to them. In order to figure out the methodology of the serial killer, the psychic connection that Harley has with the serial killer while going out with Sex and the City's Kim Cattrall, who was married to the guy who died, as ever. They finally realize the creature is some sort of demon or satanic entity. Satanic is not a thing. Who they track down into the London Underground, and they go underground to destroy. Um, Film as a whole, mixed bag. Really difficult to say I'd recommend it. Um, the pacing's way off. I think it just tries to do so much. It's not so much convoluted, but it's stretched incredibly thin. The plus points is as a story, this would have been a brilliant series, even 15-parter in 2000 AD of the time. Tony Marshall, the director, has pretty much shot everything like it is a Steve Dillon or Brett Ewins panel, right down to the choices of fashion of 2008. I could easily have picked this up once a month for a year in New Denmark Street, Forbidden Planet. That's the original store, people. But at the same time, it was in Oxford Street by then. This is an 80s vibe made in the 90s, about 2008. That maths doesn't really work. Plus points are just it is incredible to see so much British talent on the screen, and also given the fact that it is based in London, that so many of them are Scottish or from other regions as well. Alan Armstrong, in here as well as Dick Durkins, and it's even Ian Jury is able, though more that is a proper London sound that he brings in. So you really do have a sort of, in terms of the class barrier of acting, genre was still there. I say that this film is, I'd say, really uniformly white, but in terms of the class barrier and 90s London filming, it's actually quite strong when you consider region as well. Its problems, though, is that it's spread too thin. Because it's spread too thin, they haven't put all the money into the monster. The monster looks like they gave Dave a tenner and nicked it out of Alien War from the Trocadero. Um, the posters look beyond fanzine. It's trying really hard to create a production value. I mean, the cars and the guns, but there's something very LARPy stroke cosplay about it. I'd say LARP more. This is more 90s LARPing, live action role play systems. Um, about it because trench coats and contemporary clothes, but with the collars up. Look, it's 2008, people. That doesn't really work. Water is also, I understand, on a technical level, an absolute bummer to try and film with. So I can imagine that a lot of the costs here. I mean, this isn't Avatar, but it's probably not that far from Waterworld. Kim Cattrall does her best, putting her best parts on display and her physical attributes because she's a good actress. What did you think I meant? With the nonsensical black wig beard thing. Um, and it is funny to watch Dick Durkin go from being like the anemic methodologist to trying to convince. And it is nice to see Rutger Hauer as the macho guy be the psychic rather than the sensitive one. That is a nice twist. But to watch him suddenly want to be having these near death experience and become the gun toter, it's played for laughs, but he's not a great comic actor. It's too hyperbolic at these points. So I would say that you know what, it is an entertaining evening. It is exactly as I've got it now. Put it on the TV while you're checking your phone level. You will look up. There'll be boobs. There will be bullets, and there'll be some really bad music of popular 80s beats. Um, why? How? And again, you just sit there going, you've. I know you've spent the money. I know you've spent the money for that. Um, yeah, it's. I'd say for people of the time, people my age, yeah, definitely. Anyone younger than me, I doubt there'd be much in it. And also the elephant, or rather the serial killer in the room, that is getting to me constantly. Is There is no explanation why this massive fucking creature of superhuman size and strength is just wandering around the city and no one fucking notices it as it's serial killers in flats, in bloody nightclubs, in showers, in apartment complexes. Absolutely none. That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. You would fucking notice. The thing fucking, you know, no. No, there's no. By throwing in the supernaturally, actually psychically, wikically in that way, because this potpourri of mythology is what you do with world culture, apparently, um, undermines it. If they had created a reason why it's got the DNA of everything else, if it's a genetic being, okay. But the psychic link, when you're dealing with global warming, future London, no one really is from London, and then you're going, oh, and it's like and it was magic and that. You've broken the credulity thing. I mean, this is about as much point as a bionic werewolf, because the thing is about a bionic werewolf is a werewolf is an amazing creature. A bionic man is an amazing idea as a concept. Bionic werewolf, as soon as it shapeshifts, the bionics would fall onto the ground, therefore rendering them useless, and you'd probably have a three-legged puppy with mange. Okay, and it's not quite that. I mean, maybe it is, but it's just a very charming puppy to some, like myself. So, is it worth checking out? I'd say, yeah, I would say that, but I say that tentatively. I think if you're of the mind of just seeing that kind of era again, then do it. But in terms of the story, there is nothing there for you. Um, so this one is strictly for the adults, Tom. 40 plus. That's time. And it's a chat.